Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, guys? I'm your boy Supreme with another Raid Shadow Legends stream. It's been a minute. I know we've been pushing offline here the challenge account, making sure we're staying on top, making sure we're not missing a day, playing it as if I were to be playing it like it was my main account. I try to get the best data and experience out of it, right? Um, we are back with another one. Today, we have a little bit of everything. We're starting off with my main account. I have made a crazy mistake that I'm not sure if I have the depth and knowledge to be able to fix, but we're going to do our best. I think I have an idea of what went wrong, but yes, for the TLDR, I screwed up my clan boss team, so we're definitely gonna try to get that fixed today. Um, for those of you guys that haven't been with me from my previous accounts, over my previous channels, and where we're at, let's do a quick rundown of where I am on my main account in general, so we can have a good starting point. So I'm 160 days into playing Raid, so I'm still fairly new. I'm still a beginner. I'm still quite green behind the ears when it comes to Raid Shadow Legends. I am just getting my feet wet into the middle game. Or the mid game. So I've spent a lot of this early part of the mid game correcting a lot of the mistakes that I've made, either consciously or through not knowing what I know now on this account. Namely, the two biggest mistakes being level 50 syndrome, where I had a ton of champions, not only at level 50, but also at level. You can still see here, like you can see, I still have a bunch of 30s and stuff that I haven't been able to, but essentially, just leveling up champions with no clear direction of why I needed to level them, just because they were new or the flavor of the moment. And as a result, I wasn't able to focus my attention on the champions that were going to actually give me progression, and therefore never really fully committed to fully ascending them, my champions, as well as getting them fully mastered and booked. So I had to spend the first part of my exodus of the early game and into the mid game by just fixing and first identifying the best clan boss team that I could possibly make, and then doubling down, tripling down on making sure that I had all my masteries and all my ascension and even awakenings done to the fullest, trying to min max all my champions as best I could, because I was hard stuck in brutal, three keying brutal, and I was not able to do any real damage into Nightmare. And we all know that we want to get at least Nightmare, the best chest out of that, so we can get those sacred shards on farm. At least a chance of the sacred shard on farm, right? Something that is crucial for the ability to develop an account in the long term, because we need those sacreds to be able to get a better chance at legendaries, as well as consistent influx of epics, which will help in the mid and into the late game as I transition into the late game. So that was the case. My first initial team was Fane, Frozen Banshee, Sabbatha, Vergus, and then Apothecary, that had gotten me to the point where I was able to do any damage when it came to Nightmare mode. All these champions are now fully booked, or mostly fully booked. We're still just finishing up on Vergus and Dawncaller Sabbath, since they were the latest additions to my team. But yeah, you know how it goes with the events in the slow moving of acquiring books. But all these champions fully mastered out for a change, not half-assed like they were. So a lot of my early game mistakes were trying to build teams with unfinished champions with no books, and uh, because they were stronger, because they were legendary, thinking that that was going to put me over the hump, and never really actually gaining any footing, and most of the time actually going back. So we spent a lot of time on masteries. We spent a lot of time getting to a point where we could get to stage 20 in dragons, so we can put those on farm for dragons tournaments, something that we've done over the last couple months, and now we have a good amount of artifacts that have allowed us to really pump out some good damage. Now, the mistake that I made was prior to this 2 week no free or free removal event that we had, free gear removal event that we had. I was pumping out anywhere between like on bad RNG like 17.9 million, on one key on Nightmare, and sometimes at my best I would get with my best RNG between 20 and 21 million damage. So it was an inconsistent two key, and most of the time I ended up having to burn a third key to get that last half a million or whatever done because I just wasn't going to be bothered by restarting my key over and over until I got the proper RNG. That nobody has time for that, and as dedicated or hardcore as I can be in certain areas, that's just too much. That's just too extra for me. So, my only other option was to address them with getting better gear. So, we were squeaking by with the three key for there for a little bit, and then the free gear removal came. Uh, as soon as I was like a day or two into it, the one of the dragon tournaments had started up. So prior to that, I had probably done one or two, maybe three dragon tournaments where I had dumped anywhere between 1,500 to like 2,500 energy, just getting as much uh, gear, 5 star and 6 star gear, to be able to upgrade my champions at a later date. And so we had already done a good amount of work on that, and uh, we were looking good. We were looking solid. We did two more dragon tournaments during the free gear removal. Got to a point where it was time. We complete removed every artifact from every single champion, and then we started changing some things up. We ended up on a build, or we ended up with a gearing, the same champions, always the same: Frozen Banshee, Apothecary, Don Cobb, Sabitha, Vergus, and Fane. Always the same five guys. I ended up pulling out 23 million to somewhere. Sometimes on good RNG, I'd get like 25, 26 million. And on bad RNG, I'd get like 21, 22. So I was easily getting a good two key, and then the free gear removal ended, and I still had the one free gear removal token that was going to expire in 2 days left, plus a free gear removal token that I had earned through Curse City that were going to expire. So the one was a 6 day, and the Curse City one was 99 days. So I was going to sit on that for a while, but after the figure removal ended, I thought to myself, I had just done another two dragon tournaments and dumped a bunch in there. Let's re-gear these champions and see how much more I can get, and potentially see if I can start messing around with a potential three key or sloppy three key, if that, an occasional three key, maybe we could call it, on Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare, I mean, and see what I can pump out. So I used that 3 hour gear removal free gear removal token to get all to do that, essentially, to basically do a gear cleanse, and then try to min max my champions again. And everything went sideways there, guys. I don't know what I did. I have a couple speculations that I'm going to reveal here in a moment, but all of a sudden, that morning I had done with the previous build before I'd committed to do this update again. Um, I was I had done one key for 23.5 million, so I was sitting pretty with basically just needing a decent key, and then I rebuilt my champions, and all of a sudden now is I did 15 million on that second key, and I was like 300,000 away from two being able to two key it, and I wasn't paying attention, so I just thought it would go, so I just let it run, went upstairs, did something, and I came back to find out that I actually messed something up. So that's when I panicked and used that 1 hour 3 hour or what, because the time frame had passed, and so I didn't have any of my 3 hour free gear removal left, because it took a long time gearing and thinking I was doing something smart, but it didn't work out apparently. But anyways, um, yeah, So I had to use my 1 hour free gear removal. I stripped everybody down. I rebuilt them again because the one thing that I didn't do was put Frozen Banshee and Fane in lifesteal gear. And I thought, oh, that was the mistake. I must have had them in lifesteal gear when they were doing 23 and a half. And that's probably what it was. So I put Fane and Frozen Banshee back in the lifesteal, not as strong as they were before. Before, with basically just looking for the best stats, I was closer to like 45, 46,000 power. And Frozen Banshee was somewhere around like 36,000. So it was definitely a chunk. I just thought the survivability was the problem. And I ran it again, and now I'm doing 13 million. So I have completely buggered it. I've had to dump the last like 4, 5, 600 energy maybe into um, Spider's Den to do my best at getting as much silver as I can, because during that whole process of regearing, I ended up blowing like that 8, 9 million that I had, thinking that I was fixing or improving the team. So big mistake, and something that now I'm going to be doing going forward is, prior to doing a regear, I'm going to make sure to take screenshots at the very least, recording, or save the build in the optimizer so that I can go back to it in case this happens again and something is quite off. Now, um, yeah, like when we look at these at my champions, they're not badly geared. We If we look at in a standalone and a vacuum, each different champion, each one is um hold on a second. My pups are going crazy. Give me one moment, guys. Sorry about that. I had to we had dogs gotta get outside. But in a vacuum, like I was saying, in a vacuum, standalone, each one of these champions have pretty good stats for where my account stands, considering that I was still messing around with speeds in the 160 to like 210, and now starting to push um, guys like Apothecary, that I think I had like a 207 or 209 speed before this newest rebuild. So we've got him up quite a bit in speed. So like in a vacuum, he looks great. When we look at Frozen Banshee, the same thing occurs. Great amount of HP, good amount of speed. She's going after our debuffers and stuff. So, and before our damage dealers, um, a high amount of accuracy to make sure her poisons and her poison sensitivity are always landing. When we look at Dawn Caller Sabbatha, she's looking great in the Guardian set. She's got a ton of HP. She's over the 2,000 armor rating. Great amount of speed at 216. That is something that this rebuild, I did push them up. Which, as I say, I think is kind of giving away my speculations here, because that's something that I've identified. When we look at Burgess, his HP is roughly around the same as it was before. But his speed is so much more than it was back then, right? So, a ton of defense. I think he was sitting. I can't really fully remember. I can kind of just go off rough estimations, but I think he was below 4,000 before, but he had closer to 40,000 HP. I do remember some minor things, but the artifacts of the combination I couldn't be sure of, right? So we're looking pretty decent. And then Fane, again, her stats are looking great. Um, a ton of speed. She's making sure to get a ton of accuracy, so her debuffs are landing. It seems like this team should be stronger. Overall, they're more powerful and they got more sustainability, but somehow we're doing 13 million. So that is why I had to farm as much silver. I haven't done a gear cleanse yet, so I don't know how much silver I have. I think I have to my okay, so here's my speculation. I feel like I accidentally upgraded my support champions, specifically Sabitha and Vergus, too fast, and I had accidentally built them with good ratios or close enough ratios for them to be doing good damage because I haven't taken the time to properly learn how to speed tune a clan boss team. Every single time that I've gone to try to learn about it, I feel like so much goes over my head, and I've felt like 15, 20 minutes into the video, I feel like I'm lost and I don't understand what's going on. I've watched the Deadwood Jedi video, Cole Red, um, as well as Hell Hades videos and MTJ MTG Jedi's videos on it. And I feel like because I'm so new, I feel like too much was going over my head, and I would be breaking things too much trying to make it work. Than if I just went with a basic understanding of how to build a team, and we would get to it eventually, right? And it actually worked out. That strategy worked out because I was doing a good amount of damage, but then I got too narrow sighted with those, fear of missing out of that freaking 3 hour free gear removal. I should just not touch my clan boss team and just remove the artifacts from everybody else, and then just mess around with my arena team. If we could only go back in hindsight, right? Either way, the mistake has been made, and so today I have to learn because one of my worst areas is gear cleansing accessories because they're not. You don't gear cleanse them the same way as you do your artifacts. So I've let them pile out a little bit. I need the silver now, so I put between a rock and a hard spot, and I have to go ahead and make this work. So that is the game plan. That's what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to have to deprioritize my speed in Don. I think I'm going to have to rebuild Don Caller Sabbatha as well as Vergus because when I stopped and watched my runs after like when I could only get the 13 millions because I did cancel those ones a couple times to try to see what the heck was going on. I thought, well, there's maybe it was just like a totally bad RNG, but when I watched the 2 or 3 runs that I had that were I was getting anywhere between like 12 and a half to like 13.8 million damage. The one consistent thing is late in the between like round boss turns like 17 to like 25, somewhere in there, my ally protection would fall off. And the clan boss would hit a big AoE attack. And the ally protection that I'm getting through my guardian sets wasn't enough to sustain us through that attack. And then we would get like 2 or 3 people down. And sometimes it'd be Dawn Caller Sabbatha, and she's the lone reviver. So then the run would be over. Or if she wasn't down, it was just like they had fallen into a pit too deep to be able to recover from. And then the next round of attacks, even if Vergus got his ally protection out, and the next attacks came in, it was just like they were just fighting to get back into it, and they couldn't, and that therefore the team wasn't able to pump out damage because Frozen Banshee would be dead for half of that, or Fane, and it'd be just a mishmash of like 2 or 3 champions that were trying to get back into the swing, and then all of a sudden it would just crap out, and the boss would go. So with my layman and my beginner noob sense, I feel like I accidentally speed tuned my team in the ballpark of where it needed to be. And that's why I was pumping 23 million a key, 23 plus. And then I went into the same misguided layman, basic, ultra basic approach. I accidentally like built them way out of the ballpark when it comes to speed, and now the ally protection is falling off at the wrong times, or it's just not there when it's supposed to be. Therefore, the survivability is not there. So let me know in the comments in the chat if that's what you think or if that makes any sense. I feel like it's the only thing that makes sense as to what's going on. Hence, that's why I decided I'm just going to burn a bunch of energy into some Dragon 10, and we're going to sit here. We're going to take the time to learn together. We're going to do a little bit of a learn together, and we're going to learn from Boozer here. Let me pull up the Ultimate Intense Full Accessory Cleanse Tips and Tricks guide that he published a couple of years ago now, but I'm sure the logic and the framework are still going to be the same. So let me remove this, and then we're going to try our best to put into practice what we learned from this video, from the sections. We'll try to pause and go to the game and try to immediately put things into practice so I don't forget things because I'm quite forgetful. Thus is the side effects of having an insanely high freaking amount of ADHD. So let's see, ultimate in there it is. Share, add to stage. So here we go. After no further, there's no need to introduce Boozer, the number one, or arguably the number one free to play content creator out there. He's got an account that rivals whales, in my opinion, and he is doing things that are on another level. His level of comprehension. So that's why we're going to turn to him in our time of learning. And we're going to do our best at learning here what's going on. Let me move this to the main monitor so it doesn't look like I'm staring off into the distance here when it comes to learning here. So let's go.
Somehow filter it out before you do like you before you let your item, and obviously you want substat.
Here we go.
But if you guys have no idea what to do with your gear, I'll give you guys some pointers right now.
There we go.
Basically, when you guys hop into your accessories tab, what you guys are looking for is basically items with matching substats to the main stats. So you want main stats with complementary substats. For example, this reaction ring, for example, for Barbarian has HP main stat. What you're really looking for is HP percentage on the substats, and to a secondary and to a lesser degree defense percentage.
Okay.
So
synergizing.
The percentage stats are obviously much better than the flat stat substats. And obviously
but a double rolled or triple rolled
complementary percentage.
Triple rolled defense. That's why he kept it
to the main stat as you can. So depending where you are in your progression, pieces without complementary substats instantly get sold. So if you can somehow filter it out before you do before you let your item box stock up to this capacity, it really helps.
I have not done that.
If you guys have just no time or whatever, it's a good time to
in my defense, it's partially because I've been focused on masteries and then also the challenge account, so it's been piling up.
For example, this one, it has all the correct substats, HP percentage, and then a complementary defense percentage. It didn't roll the stat that you want because you want to hit the
corresponding, the major stat that lines up, the major synergizing stat. So, should be the one that
this ring
triple rolls.
Quad HP percentage, which
or quad, quad, godly, perfect ring.
But it didn't hit HP percentage at all. But it did hit twice into defense percentage, which makes it still viable.
Oh, it's only level 12. That's why. Okay, which, 2 and 1.
Obviously are quite rare
reactions.
So you want to hold on to this anyways. So that's kind of the idea with accessories, with rings, with amulets.
Okay, let's pause right here because he's going to start because it's not that I don't do accessory cleanses. I do them. I just have a rudimentary understanding, and I always pull up a video and try to go through this. Usually this video, there's another video that's out there that's really, really good that I couldn't find this time around. But as soon as I saw Boozer's face, I knew I was like going to get clear, understandable direction. And now I understand. So before we let me remove. Let's go back to the game and let's add. Let's just do the rings now. Add to stage. There we go. Perfect. So that's what I'd kind of makeshift had set up. So let's go rings here. So because I do know that every single category, ring, amulet, and banner, have a slightly different approach when it comes to cleansing. So that's why I always go back and watch a video while I do while I do accessory cleansing. One, because I don't want to, because they are hard to come by. I don't want to accidentally sell good rings just by going too fast, and it's just not, ingrained into me yet. So that's why I do it. And, if you want to do it the same way, whatever works. If you're, got a beautiful mind and can freaking have all that stuff running while doing it, man, like, and internalize it, and you're on the right path. So, kudos to you guys. But whatever method you guys need to do, to get through this, I like get through accessory cleansing. I always say do it separately than when you're doing your main artifact cleansing, because it can really skew your perspective when you do the artifact cleansing back to back, and you can get confused and do it on a separate day, or maybe take a break in between. But that's what I like to do. That way I don't confuse myself. So now we're gonna look at all the artifacts that all the rings that we have based on that. So we're going to be looking for synergizing stats that preferably are going to be with the main stats. So attack percentage with attack, with attack rings, etc. HP with HP percentage. So we have an HP ring here, and it's got. And also looking for percentage stats. We don't have the main stat, and we only have the substat, the secondary synergizing stat, and it's not a percentage base. So right off the bat, that's a sell. That's an easy one. Let's move on to the next one. So we got defense percentage and attack, and we don't have HP again. So it's subpar. And because we're moving in, if there's a different perspective for everybody depending on where you're at, right? So like if I was earlier in the game, this is definitely a ring that I would most likely keep because of the multiple percentage, and because when you're still in the early game, you don't really have anything better yet. So I would probably opt to keep this ring versus where I am now in the game, where I have to be more selective, because like I've said time and time again, you're only as strong as the artifacts that you have one on your account, and then properly equipped on your champions. And that kind of bit me in the butt with my clan boss team. So in this stage of the game, where I need to start focusing on different priorities going into the mid game, most importantly is honing in my artifacts, making sure they are of a higher quality than I was previously used to keeping. So where before I used to keep a ring like this because it was close enough, if I can dodge and get a triple defense roll, it might be usable because I don't have anything better. Now I have things that are better that I am using, so there's no sense in taking that gamble. So we are looking for rings with a higher level of scrutiny than we did before. So keep that in mind when you're doing your gear cleanse. A ring that I might decide to sell might be perfect, or something that is gonna be where you're gonna grab your foothold in that early game, so you can get to where I am now, or even further down the line, right, in progression. So for me, because it doesn't have HP percentage and defense, for me that is the bare minimum. If it doesn't have those two, it's gonna go. So when we look at this one, we have HP percent, and we have a attack percentage. We have the secondary substat, but it isn't a percentage base, so that one's going to go as well. We're going to be extra vigilant at this stuff right now. One, because we need the silver, and because we don't want to build up I don't want to continue building up a whole bunch of mediocre artifacts, holding that'll just essentially hold my account back. So here we go. We got HP to here we go. We got one. That's when we're gonna hit. We're gonna keep. Oh no! Hold on a second. We got to go back and double check some things. HP. Okay, good. HP. Okay, good. Was this an attack? Okay, so this one we have to reevaluate because I got so blindsided. I assumed this was an HP based ring. No, this is an attack based ring. So therefore, we have to reconsider this. Now, the substat to attack that we would want to have outside of attack percentage, what can we get in a ring? Um, Crit rate? Can we get crit rate on a ring? See, it's important to know these things. I don't think we can. Let me look at another example to properly identify what the second substat is. Would it be HP percentage? Because I am not seeing in any rings something like crit rate or a better synergizing stat in your ring. Because I know not all stats are available in each different category. So I think I don't have any examples. See, this is an awesome ring. It's an awesome ring too. Wow. Yeah, I don't see anything like that. So I think HP percentage would be the substat for an attack uh, oriented ring like this one is here. So because it is attack and we have attack percentage, so the two that stays. This is attack ring, HP, and defense. Now, if this was HP, this would be perfect, but it isn't. It's one of those things where it's going to be mediocre for the purpose that it's intended. So it's out of here. We have another attack based ring, and these have to be perfect. So this has to be HP percentage and attack. So that is a go. We have an HP rings. We have HP percentage, and the second one. So that is a no go. Pinpoint gear. I just don't like selling, even if it's bad. So I'm just going to use it on. I'm going to commit to use it with my faction wars champions. This one isn't that bad. HP. This is actually a really good ring, anyways. So HP defense. These are opposites. This is a this is the opposite of synergy. But it's pinpoint, and pinpoint is that important. I am not going to sell that. So we have an HP percentage ring. Oh, it's a blood shield ring. Not really the greatest uh, ability, and it doesn't synergize well. We don't have HP percentage. We have a flat, so that one is gone. We're going to go through all these one by one, and this is how we're going to learn, and hopefully through osmosis and just kind of you guys doing this as you go through your on your account, because I'm assuming you guys are going to be playing along as well. That is what we're going to look to do. So we got HP percentage, defense percentage, a perfect ring. HP, and attack, a subpar ring. We're not going to keep it. HP, banger of a ring right there. Perfect ring? No. These ones have to be perfect. No. Defense? No. Defense? No. Attack? No. It's gotta go. Revenge rings almost have to kind of stay just for that counter attack. That that ability, that special effect is almost too strong. Even though this world, that's I think that's what I was thinking when they kept it, because even though I kind of I just have to keep it because that 5% counter attack is huge. It's freaking huge. Let's look at this ring. We have an HP ring with it's only a shield. That ring is gone. Like I said, I'm not even going to look at those. Save us some time. So this is definitely a ring that does not synergize. Attack. HP synergizes perfect. Oh, this is awesome ring. HP percentage. Oh, that's gone. Attack. That one's gone. Flat HP, no go. We're not keeping mediocre. We're going to have a little bit higher standard, like I was saying, kind of to reiterate for those new that are joining. And let's see. Oh, why am I looking at pinpoint? We're not going to look at pinpoint. So let's see here. This ring, a defensive ring with HP and attack that is counter synergistic. Here we go. HP, defense, no HP. This has to be HP and defense. That it's not. Attack and HP percentage. It is not. Here we go. Ring. HP percentage attack. So this is a cell. We have HP percentage and defense. Gotta be perfect. So attack. I guess defense could be a secondary substat for attack rings because some champions need. We'll keep that one. Is HP or defense percentage depending on the champion, on the nuker or the offensive champion? That might be this preferred substat, right? Secondary substat. Secondary synergies. Man, there's so many. The second stat that needs to synergize. So this one, defense, no. Defense, no. Defense, no. No. When it's the other way around, it doesn't work though. No. HP, no. Blood Shield, here we go. Orcs, a defensive ring with no percentage based reaction ring. Here we go. Defensive. 25% chance to change critical hit into normal attack when attacked before first turn. So I don't think that's a strong special effect. I'm a noob. Let me know if that is actually a mistake, but we're going to sell it. That's go. Attack percentage, no. Attack, defense. So we got defense, no HP. Defense, no HP percentage. Revenge gear is almost always kept because that counter attack passive is so strong. Undead horrors. Here we go. New ring. We have an HP that's got both and it's got the bonus. I like that. We're going to get that to triple roll. We had an HP ring with just defense, with an attack with just. Now that we're in the swing of things, so we'll keep that one. It becomes a little bit faster, right? So that's basically the process. And we're going to go through all these because we're not going to half-ass it. HP percent, if that was defense, we would keep. Oh, it's a Slayer ring, though. Mediocre gear. This is where you start wanting to make concessions. You have to learn to stick by your guns or decide if it's worth making a concession. Slayer gear, though. And it's like synergistic, but like this would much be better to be a percentage based. So it's not like it. Just if it double rolls, we'll keep it. So we'll wait. The jury's still out on that one if we're going to actually keep it or not. Reaction ring, defense, HP attack, attack. Okay, keep that one. This has got to be perfect. Defense, HP, no. Attack, no. Defensive, no. Open tribes. Here we go. HP, defense percentage, HP, no. This one's got to be perfect, but no. Banner Lords. Here we go. HP and HP percent. There we go. But we don't have flat defense. Attack and HP. This is a good one. We'll keep that one. Attack, HP percentage, and then attack. We'll keep that one. It's got to be perfect to perfect. So HP, no. Count is counter synergistic there. HP, no. HP and defense right stats, but this needs to be percentage. We're not keeping that. HP and attack, no. Attack, no. Attack percent, no. Defense, HP defense. There we go. Defense, HP, no. Even more so with the 4 stars right now because we are trying to move off of 4 stars as well, but we're gonna accessories are accessories, right? So they have a little bit less, more consideration than others. So this is gonna. That's a good one. Hopefully Earl's right. Defense, no. defensive, no HP. So that one goes already at 2.5 million. I don't think we're gonna make enough to rework. We might actually, because last time I reworked, I did have to fix. I tried. I thought the problem was with Fane at one point, and I spent 800,000 to rework her lifesteal because she was in lifesteal, but she wasn't. I opted for a faster lifesteal with like 274 accuracy or something like that, 270 something accuracy. Um, because it says that bare minimum 255 accuracy is what we need. So I thought that would be more enough, but she wasn't consistently landing her debuff. So I thought let's just rebuild her and concede a little bit of speed for the accuracy, and it's still 13 mil. I don't know. Sylvan Watchers, HP and defense. Nope. Attack, HP and attack. Nope. Attack, HP and attack. Oh, there we go. Standard, defense, HP and defense. Nope. Knights Revenant. Here we go. HP, defense and HP percent. Nope. Attack, HP and attack. No. HP. Nope. Perfect. The blues have to be perfect. Both these have to be percentage because there's no way we're going to take a chance because we want double roll. There's no way we're going to try to. No, no. So that one is down. Perfect. They have to be perfect if they're blue, and if they're not perfect, we got a blue blood shield, but we don't have HP defense. That's gone. Reaction. No, that's gone. High elves now. Here we go. So we got defense, HP percentage and defense. No. HP percentage and defense. No. HP percentage and defense. No. HP percentage and attack percentage. No. No. Attack and defense. No. So that's it. So we're going to sell that. That's a solid 3 million out of just rings. So now we have to learn about amulets. So let's go back. Let me remove that. Stop share. Let's go back to ultimate, intense, full accessories. And now let's learn how to cleanse amulets.
Much more harder to basically differentiate. But I will say, I'll give you guys like a tip is like defense amulets basically never get used because
Okay.
if you're building a tanky support champion, you're most likely going to pick HP, flat HP. So you're going to pick something like this, right? Flat HP main stat. The only reason you would go with the defense one is if it had a very strong substat.
Triple roll or quad
But in
roll.
this case, it has triple accuracy, which is actually really good. Also, in the rare case that you're building a defense support
Hi,
champion,
sweetheart. Oh, puppy girl.
actually, even a defense support champion, you usually take HP. But
Even
in
a
the rare
defensive
case
base.
where you have a defense support champion that also has some kind of scalability off defense, such as Valkyrie. So Valkyrie, this is why this amulet is here, is for Valkyrie. That also benefits from accuracy. Then of course you keep it. So this is kind of like you kind of have to have some knowledge of your own roster and what kind of items that will benefit your own roster. So on this account,
I don't think I have a champion.
Valkyrie, but if I did, this amulet would be very nice for Valkyrie.
For her.
So
I don't think it'll be
defense
for
amulets,
Vergus.
they don't get used very often. 9 out of 10 times, you probably will use HP.
That's probably what I'll do.
Way the effective hit points are
good to know. Keep that in mind, guys.
HP just gives you a lot more survivability than defense does. Just remember, like, there's champions that can basically wipe out, that ignore all your defense or large percentages of it. So
because there's abilities like that that bosses do that ignore all defense. So
hold on to more HP amulets.
HP amulets are more
crit damage amulets. You want basically triple stats, so you can go triple attack stat, triple defense stat, triple HP stat. Obviously, HP and defense, you don't really want too many of those, but attack, obviously,
Triple
very good.
attack.
And also, you don't mind having some that are maybe like triple accuracy, like high accuracy stats. So because you could have like a defensive nuker or sorry, not a support nuker that has debuffs as well. So those are also worth holding on to. For banners, so I'm just doing a quick overview before
Okay,
I actually do
so
my own.
now that we've gone through the amulets, let's go through ours. You guys, you do yours, and I will do mine. Let me just remove from stage, bring up back my raid application. At the stage, there we go. So, one, because I know my roster depth probably does not have a champion, or I really don't know, to be honest, but I can go off of probabilities here. There are 1,000 roughly champions in the whole game, and only a handful of them would require a defensive amulet. And so we're going to just go ahead and get rid of a bunch of these. The ones that are rolled up, we're going to keep them for whatever, and pinpoint just in case. But oh man, we'll take a second guess at some of them, but we're just going to get rid of a bunch of these defensive amulets that haven't been rolled up, because we know that odds are Slayer will keep, pinpoint will keep. Odds are I don't have a champion that I need them for. So we're so far away from having to find a defensive amulet like that there's no sense in. We can just quickly cleanse them, and it's not going to hurt us in the short term and in the long term. We'll, if we need to, we'll farm one at the time, or we'll come up with better ones out of hard mode and stuff, right? So like that's my train of thought. So that's what we're going to do. We got rid of all the defensive based amulets. Now, what did he say about? He said you want triple rolls. So that has not been the case with double roll there, double rolls. Oh, that's terrible. Well, we're selling that. Why is that freaking? Because of the accuracy, probably. I just never rolled right. Let's go. Actually, before that, let's go through the rolled up gear to see if it's worth keeping. Defense and resilience, 2 rolls. This is straight not great. But the 22 accuracy is the reason why it's been used. Because that was the best that we had at the time. But now, and it's probably why now it just sits there and hasn't been pulled up and used or anything. But it will get used on a Faction Wars champion at some point, because they're going to get all the hand-me-down gear, all the gear that's mediocre. That's what we're going to use for our first wave of faction teams that we're slowly getting into building right now. So that's what that one exists. So this one right here, we have a double roll and a crit damage. It's an attack based. What did he say about attack based? Probably keep those. But we have that, and we have one in a roll. So 2 of them went 16% crit damage is definitely okay. So we have a crit damage. Oh, this is just a terror. I don't even want to put this one on. I don't even want to put this on a freaking Faction Wars champion. Attack, crit damage. These have to be perfect. So, oh no, we're triple rolling, so it doesn't. Oh no, the best we can get is a double roll, so we'll get a chance at crit damage there. So worth keeping. Let's look at this 16 gear double rolled into defense. But because I needed the crit damage, I ended up keeping it. 1,000%. I know that's why. Because we're still pretty mediocre when it comes to that. We're gonna end up keeping that one, unfortunately. So we got attack, crit damage is there. Maybe we can get triple roll there. Triple roll accuracy would be nice. Revenge gear we keep. What does it look like though? Grit damage. Wow. Dark elves. Here we go. Defense amulet. Only got 11 accuracy is what's kept you around for so long, bro. You're gone. I don't care that you're 61. You got to purge some of this mediocre gear so it doesn't even get on the faction wars. It's just I don't even want to use this on a faction wars champion. That's how bad this is. But I can tell this is an early game thing because I know that I probably would have put these runes in there to do daily quests or advanced quests. So it's just a 28 accuracy, crit damage. That's why it stays. Quick damage. We'll roll that up to see if it's worth it. Let's sell it right now. Or is it? Use that. Can I accidentally sell it? That's just 2. No, it's right here. That 3. I need to upgrade just one. Let's see which one. Accuracy. Double accuracy. It's gonna be sold. Sell that garbage. Okay, so HP percent, accuracy resilience. We'll take that. Resilience crit damage. No. Oh wait. I'm looking at that like a ring. We can still triple roll or double roll crit damage, so we want that chance. We don't want to double roll either one of those stats. You want to double roll accuracy or chance at double rolling, should I say? Chance at double rolling. All those have stuff that's worth for a chance. Here we go. HP, crit damage. The accuracy. Crit damage. Wow. Okay, so undead hordes. Crit damage. Crit damage accuracy. Damage. Accuracy. Neither one of those. I want to try to double roll. Damage to I might triple roll if we're lucky. Damage. HP percentage. Oh, yeah, so none of these I want to triple roll. Accuracy and crit damage, I want to try to triple roll. Crit damage, I want to try to double roll. Either one of those, I want to try to double roll, as well as those. If they have a stat that because he said we want to find stats that we can triple roll, double, triple, and quad roll, right? Ideally, quad roll. So I would love to be able to quad roll quick damage or triple roll in this situation. So that one stays. Double roll. Nope. Damage. I could take a double roll on that. Double roll on accuracy. Don't want to double roll with either one of those stats. I can go for that. So Lizardman. Triple roll accuracy. Double roll crit damage. Double roll accuracy. Neither one of those. Substats. So here we go. Attack, accuracy, and crit damage. A triple roll that would be awesome. I don't want to roll any of those substats. Damage I do, accuracy I do, accuracy I do, and accuracy I do. Well, we're in tribes at 465. So we're not doing as good on the amulets. Accuracy, crit damage. So, oh yeah, it's because when it comes to the amulets, there's a 2-part process. So there's going to be this first part of getting rid of the ones that we're not going to try to roll. Accuracy, crit damage. And then we would then also try to roll these ones. And the ones that don't double roll, or don't roll the way that we want, those we would then sell them. So there's a two-part to cleansing ambulance. We don't want either one of those substats. What's this one? No, that one didn't roll right. Oh, that's quick damage. That works. Accuracy we want. Didn't double roll, but I know we kept it from a 20 accuracy is still a lot of accuracy. I know we would have rolled that during a time when that would have been one of our best, so we'll give it leniency. I don't want either one of those double rolled for damage. I can go for no. Last one, dwarfs here. You got crit damage, accuracy, and either one of those I want to keep. So we're going to sell for roughly 800,000, just a little shy. So because we have a goal in mind with the silver that we're gaining from this, we're not going to roll up any amulets quite yet to see because the next stage of cleansing amulets would be to then would be to now roll them up to see which ones double roll, triple roll, and the ones that don't double roll and triple roll, we just sell. That way we can get some of that silver back. But because we have a goal in mind of having to rebuild our clan boss team, we need as much silver as we can get. So if we have any silver after we rebuild our champions here, oh my gosh, I have no idea where to start. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But anyways, that's why we're not going to do that second part just now. But now we're going to go to banners, and we're going to take this down. We're going to go pull up the video again, and we're going to learn from Boozer how to do a cleanse on ambulance. Take it away, Mr. Boozer. The class is yours.
My own accessory cleanse because I need to do my own accessory cleanse here. But for banners, basically, like general consensus is speed is still important because the banner is a good spot to add extra speed. So speed is very important to have on your banners. However, with the addition of like stone
Speed.
skin, speed became less important,
Uh-oh,
even like
okay.
negative. So it's okay to keep
In which
some
situation?
banners without speed that have very good rolls into the complementary substats. So, for example, this banner, attack main stat banner with attack percentage and speed. This is actually a really good piece, actually. And the
This example.
first two rolls rolled really good. So definitely want to keep this one. This one probably goes to 16 at some point if I ever find an attack barbarian that's worth using. So yeah, so this is what I mean, right? So for banners, you want to keep so for
Oh,
example,
while he says
attack.
that, another thing is when it comes to cleansing and doing, there's a part of just kind of like of of rolling gear at the same time, so it's like a gear cleanse and artifact upgrade kind of at the same time. So, as you can see here, Boozer's got a whole bunch of banners that he's already pre-rolled up to level 8, and I believe for banners, level 8 is the max that you want to take him to until you have a champion to try to try to roll that item up. Because if you don't have a champion to use it, then what's the sense of using the silver at that point, right? When it comes to amulets, though, when you roll those, because we're looking for double rolls, triple rolls, quad rolls, depending on how it's rolling, that one might be 8 might be sufficient. 12 might be sufficient, right? Even 16. So there's no depending on the artifact, you may have to roll it all the way, which is another reason why I didn't do that section in the ambulance, because I don't want to waste the silver yet. So keep that in mind when doing an artifact cleanse, is that roll it as far as you need to. When it comes to banners, 8 is a good rule of thumb, and then for amulets, it all depends on the roll, right? So like if you have a legendary item and you've rolled 4 and then 8 and it's double rolled into speed, let's for example, or accuracy, whatever that stat is on the amulet that you're going to want to push it again to see that if it triple rolls, And then at that point, you know that if it triple rolls, you're going to keep it. But if it double roll, it only stays as a double roll, and then you go on that third roll and it doesn't go the way you want, you can abandon it and sell it there. But that's why you might need to go, oh, it triple rolled. Now at that point, depending on where you are, you might keep it. But if you're in the late game, that might be a stage where now you have to see if it quad rolls, because now quad roll gear is the most important thing that you want to keep, right? So because where I'm at, I'm most likely going to be just bringing things up, making sure that I have double roll and triple roll. I'm not going to be focusing on quad roll stuff. I'll probably keep a lot of the double roll and triple roll stuff ideally. So keep that in mind. Let's get back to learning about how to do banner
You want to
cleanses.
attack. For this one, resistance. Resistance banner is a bit interesting because resistance banner um, usually put on a support champion. You don't put it on an attacker. So you want
Okay.
support stats. So you want defense, HP. So this example for this resistance banner is actually really good. It has 2 hits in speed, defense percentage, HP percentage, and flat HP. So all defensive stats. Very, very good. Okay, so that's a keeper. Quick note about special sets. So reaction, revenge, refresh. Those are your basically like your main three
Reaction.
like
Uh-oh.
special sets, because you don't get these very often.
I got rid of reaction in the rings, or in the
And yeah,
amulets.
and if you get them, the effect generally outweighs the negatives of the poor rolling or the lack of rolls.
That's exactly the thing that I was saying. Looks like we found the answer.
So definitely hold on to them.
I sold a couple rings or a couple amulets that were reaction.
With salvaging them.
Okay?
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into how I do my own cleansing.
So now that we've learned how to do the gear cleanse, so we have to bring them up just to 8 or whatever we have. So basically, wait a second. Percentage based. So percentage based. So we can kind of look. So resilience, man, this is a terrible look right here. 1 percentage based stat. Everything else doesn't even synergize. And it's no defense. If this was like all flat stats with defensive stats, maybe. But this just doesn't work. That one I just have to bite the bullet and sell. I hate coming from MMOs, like selling orange gear, even if it's bad, is really difficult for me. So we got a defense percentage, no flat, no percentage. So we're looking for percentage based substats to keep. There we go. There we go. And we're not going to do the second part where it is rolling everything up to 8. That has potential. This one is HP percent attack. I'm not a total fan of that. But HP banners are a different breed. See, like I have greens because they're accuracy banners. So we're gonna have a little bit more leeway of a chance at triple rolling speed and HP. So we're gonna ignore. Here we go. Speed and HP percentage, and that's a good one. Perfect. If it rolls right, that'd be amazing. Perfect for this stage. So we got percentage based, speed, and HP. Anything that has speed kind of automatically, and accuracy as well on the banner type. Speed and defense percentage, HP double percentage, and speed. Probably not going to end up selling a lot of these. Resilience, HP, defense, HP. Ooh, that's okay. I feel like we're not going to get a ton of these. These I want double percentage. No. Speed is just that good of a stat to try to double roll. That one is no good. Speed, accuracy, resilience. Nope. Resilience. Two different. No. 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 It's got speed on it. Lucky. The only thing that saved it. HP and defense percentage. All of them are percentage based. No. Double percent we need here. Speed. And these are both accuracy banners. I know. If they're green and they're still here, they're accuracy banners. Oh. I'm not going to keep that, even though it has speed. The reason being is because it's so counter synergistic. This needs to have all defense stats, and it's got attack and attack, a flat attack, and speed. So speed, I'm not going to let it, and it's only got a low amount of speed on it, so it's not going to roll up that high anyway. So we're going to give it up 2 percentage based HP and defense percentage. We're going to keep that one because it is resilience. Nope. We keep accuracy. We keep undead hordes, defense, HP and attack. 2 percentage based. Oh, nope. No, that's a Slayer. I'm going to ignore those. I'm going to do those separate cleanses when anything that's like Slayer or 9-piece set bonus stuff like pinpoint everything. I'm going to I cleanse those specific sets on their own because I don't have like the ability to just know exactly what's great for that set and what I'm going to keep. And there's a lot more leniency that I have for those sets. So just like I'm doing now, where I'm going to watch a video about, oh no, I don't have it up. Just like I watched the video to make sure to learn how to cleanse this with Boozer. I'm going to do the same thing, cleansing pinpoint gear, cleansing Slayer gear, things to learn, right? That way, the more I do it that way, eventually I'll get a place where it's top of mind and can actually do it without the help of a video. So, no, not enough defensive stats. No, no. We'll keep that one. Accuracy we keep. Defense, keep that one. And then just the last one to go. We'll keep that one because those are, even though speed, more percentage. These are going to be all except accuracy. So we got another 1,000,000.3. Oh man. Okay. So now we have done everything that we can on cleansing our. We have 6.9 million. So hopefully we can rebuild this team. Oh man, I am dreading this moment now because we have to try to figure out what went wrong with this clan boss team. To go from 26 million down to 13 million with the same champions after just re-gearing is a problem. I just don't know what the heck. Let's see what we got out of our chest. Maybe we got lucky and got a stick to make it feel better. Claim those. Come on. Give me some. Give me my first secret from a nightmare. No. One day I'll get a secret from a nightmare chest, but that's okay. The fact that we get a shot is the thing that really matters. So let's try a dry run here. I might have to end this run just to show you guys what the team is doing right now and what is happening so we can document it. The last time I did this, I was pumping out between 13 to 13.5 million. There is another factor too. It could be an affinity change that is messing things up. That could also be a factor because now I just realized with the magic affinity that it's changed to. And we have 2 magic affinity champions. And magic affinity goes so it goes magic over spirit affinity over force affinity, and force affinity over magic affinity. So are my green and I have Fane and Vergus, so are they just taking more damage? This also could be a thing of It might be affinity chain. So we're gonna have to diagnose. We're gonna. This is the process that I take whenever I face some sort of hiccup, whether that is when it comes to building my teams for a specific dungeon or clan boss, or when I'm looking at doing gear cleanses, or when I'm looking at regearing. I go through this exact same troubleshooting method that I'm going through right now. Right now, we're in the diagnosing stage, trying to figure out what went wrong because I feel like I geared these guys better. Like it can't just be that I I accidentally like de de speed tuned them. Like I was saying, my first intuition, my speculation is that I accidentally um uh speed tuned my previous clan boss team on accident in the right ballpark of where I needed to be for me to be able to pump out 23 million and above on Nightmare. And then I accidentally tuned these when I regeared out of speed tune to where now my ally protection isn't up at the right times and I'm missing specific things and the team is dying well before their ability to pump up the damage. So that was my first speculation, and now I realize that the affinity has changed. So that might be playing a factor as well. So I don't know. We're gonna see what's going on. The next thing that we're gonna have to try to figure out, because like I was saying, every single time I try to figure out how to speed tune a clan boss team, so many things go up over my head that I just get lost halfway through the video, and I never get to the point where I feel confident to speed tune either champion. So let's see. Now that we moved on from yesterday's affinity onto today's affinity, I have no idea what's going to happen here, but I am definitely nervous because I don't. Okay, Fane's landing a lot more of her debuffs. What is going on with this team? So here we're in that between stage 17 and 25, 26. This is where things just go wrong. Somewhere around here, two or three champions die. And then it's just quicksand, and we're just struggling to get back into a rhythm, and then we just die. And yeah, so I thought maybe it was a thing of like, as I had initially pulled Fane and Frozen Banshee off of lifesteal gear, because I thought that the healing coming from Sabbatha as well as uh, Apothecary was more than enough to keep us up. And then the continuous heal that Burgess puts here on top of everything to would do the job, but apparently not. We're about the spot where we messed up. We're starting to here. This is where we're starting to venture. So I got to get ready to close out just in case everybody dies, so we don't waste the key. And then we can start trying to rebuild, trying to identify. I'm going to try to watch a video from Dead Boy. There we go. See, but there's only one death. One death is okay. Can we get back up to speed here? She'll heal herself back up. And then that happens. See, 13 million. I have to close out before we mess that up. 13 million again. Holy frick, man. What the heck is going on? So lame. What the frick is going on? This is like the fifth or sixth battle that I've run. Last night I just had to let it go because I needed to complete it so I could get my third key in to get my top chest, but I need to get back. I can easily two key this. I have the champions, I have the artifacts. I have just done something terribly wrong, as you can see. Let's find. Oh man. Right now, I'm dropping about. I think I had like 1,200 after the CVC ended on my challenge account. I ended up with like a whole bunch of the personal rewards. So I ended up with like about 1,300, 1,400 energy. So on the laptop, I have my challenge account burning through Minotaur because I am not going to let that account fall behind when it comes to mastery. So I'm going to get my uh, first clan boss team fully mastered out. So I'm dropping that in, and so that's still going. It's still. Let's see how much the auto battle to see how much energy we have to see if it's worth switching over to that. No, there's still 600. We're gonna let that go. We are going to let those masteries just keep on farming because hopefully we can get some capstone masteries for a bunch of those 60s. Should hopefully push us into brutal because we can now easily two key hard. We can one key normal, and then we can blow up easy. That we've been able to do that for a while now. So I wanted to venture, hopefully, by getting all the masteries or all some capstone masteries for that account, we can move on to one key hard mode, and then we can start messing around with brutal. Get some of those. But now the task at hand. So we're going to continue down this path of trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So after seeing that attempt, I'm at a point where I am even more convinced that it has something to do with the fact that I re-geared Sabitha and Vergus to be way faster than they were before. And somehow, so I need to learn how to use the Deadwood Jedi clan boss calculator enough to be able to calculate Vergus because when we died there, ally protection wasn't up. So it's my best guess. So I'm gonna have to try to rebuild Vergus and Sabitha. I don't think we need to focus so much on Apothecary because I built him as fast as possible with 100% crit rate. Um, and then Frozen Banshee and Fane, I think, are okay build wise. They're super fast. They have high accuracy. I haven't seen an issue of their debuffs not being applied, so I don't think they're the issue. My just my rough guess that Vergus is out of whack. So I now need to learn how to use the Deadwood Jedi clan boss calculator to find out what speed he needs to be because he is at least 30. I think he was around like 190 something speed, 180 something speed. He has to have been higher than 180 because the way that I was building my teams before, my nukers were between 170, 160, and 180 in speed. My buffers, healers, everybody else was higher than 180 or 190. My healers were definitely going to be were like around Apothecary was like a 207 or something like that. So he's way faster now at like 250. So I don't think I have to worry about him. Man, I've been like dreading this since yesterday once I realized I had messed this up so bad because I could rebuild these two guys and I could be completely wrong. But we're going to use the Deadwood Jedi calculator. So let's pull up a video. How to speed tune clan boss. Why speed tune? That's not what we need. How to speed tune? We need something shorter because the one from Deadwood Jedi was so long, and I need to make sure it's a killable clan boss team because I don't have the pieces to make unkillable clan boss yet. Ooh, there's a champion. There's a video here by it's only got 488. Low gaming clan boss speed tune issues troubleshooting. So he's probably just doing the same thing that I'm doing. So a 1-to-1 speed tune. That's probably what I should be doing. Red has done a video. It's 30 minutes long. I think that's the video that I've been going off of because I believe that is essentially really the only speed tune that I can go with right now because I don't have the gear to go on a 2-to-1 if I'm not mistaken. And that's if I'm assessing it properly. I don't really know, to tell you the truth, what my account can actually pump out. So we got that team. So we have a how to speed tune a clan boss team. We have thousands of speed, one speed tune. Where's the MTG Jedi? Casual Samuel. He's a 15-minute. You know what? This might be the video right here by Casual Samuel. Even though it's got only 210 views. Because I have seen his videos before and I like them. Then we got, yeah, see, like this. I've also tried watching Hell Hades. Oh, hold on. Let me remove so you guys can see what I'm doing. Duh, I should probably. Duh. Okay. Unkillable. Okay, the Ultimate Speed Tune video. This is the one that I watched from. Oh no! This is the one. The one from him is one specifically for Clan Boss 4 and 5, I guess. Speed Tune everything. That's not the one though. He did. Don't have to 2.8K. Where? Why is am I not getting? Broken speed. No. Oh, you know what? This is exactly. This is an hour video. I can't react or watch the whole video on stream. This is the one that I was watching from Deadwood Jedi that I just kept getting lost. All right, so you know what? This specific topic might not be the best to kind of learn and go with. This is a 20-minute video. Cold Reds is a 30. I'm gonna have to do this homework off the stream. Wild. Let's go back because I'm not. Yeah, because I'm not. I don't have. I can't switch to the other account right now. All right. Okay. I don't have the luxury to just like start blowing through the silver. Let's just start tuning or just trying different builds with the team optimizer. Wild. Okay, we can do other things though. So let's see. Let's look at our. Let's do some chores. Yeah, let's get some of these done. We haven't done these, so let's get some chores done while we kind of ball the next course of action. Because I think that is definitely where we're at when it comes to fixing this gosh darn clan boss team, man. That sucks. I'm so upset at myself for screwing that up. You know what? Lessons learned. Things are going to happen. Now we know going forward. Make sure to make sure to save and optimize your build, so you can go back to it, or at least take some screenshots. If I have enough champions to do a live arena, usually with him, I don't think he's strong enough because I don't have level 16 here yet. I don't want to fully max him out until I have fixed these two champ. Bust out. Live arena is so hard. I can only get like my daily cheese win, and sometimes it takes a lot, and it's probably going to take longer. You know what? Let's mess around. Let's just do that. Let's just get it done. Let's just get it done. We got to get it done. Oh, it's not even live right now, so that kind of answers that. What other advanced quests that we can do? Do oh, check this out. News. We finally beat our first round of Doom Tower. So we're well into the mid game. We finally completed a run of a rotation of Doom Tower. We took this one down. It took me a bunch of runs actually, just swapping in different champions until I finally got it to work. And so, yeah, this is the team that ended up working for me. And I had to manual a couple for the first like half to get it kind of rolling, to make sure that the right ad was getting killed because the AI does a terrible job at focusing the minions down. So I had to kind of guide it that way. But we got it down. Doesn't matter. It took us 137 turns and 9 minutes, but we got it done. I don't care. That's awesome for me. We finally completed one. So now we have to see if we can do it under the other rotations. So the highest version of the actual usable, this one gives us, what are the materials that this one gives us? There's the boss gun. I don't think it'll say anything, but either way. Why am I blanking right now on what we craft? Is that Guardian? Griffin? I am doing. Wait, which boss am I doing? Man, my brain. This is how bad my ADHD is. I literally can't remember which. Oh yeah, Magma Dragon. Magma Dragon. What armor do we do with? Is that fatal? Yes, we do need. Because I don't even have a fatal set yet. See, this is how I know that we're well into the mid game because I have to start crafting some of these mid game for consistent. I don't have anything top tier that even beats my lifesteal set when it comes to Bloodthirst. I really need to get a fatal set, man. So bad. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. What other? And that is the highest quality materials that we can get. The next highest we can do is we can do some Griffin feathers here for Guardian armor. But I feel like the Guardian set, Guardian armor for what we have right now is probably good enough because all three of my champions that I put Guardian on, Truewath, Burgess, and Sabbatha, are pretty well geared. I just got to figure out how to speed through them. So we'll dump these keys into here. And then maybe I can kind of do like a. Well, probably should share that. So we'll do some. What's going on in the world of Supreme at this challenge? So we're right in the for those of you guys that haven't heard or seen a previous episode, previous stream, where me and Wally from Wally World Gaming are in the thick of like a 1 year challenge that we're doing. We are going to bust out a challenge that he created called the Bacon Challenge, where essentially no promo link champions and no new player promo champions. He kind of came up with this idea, this challenge, because he wanted to test, and I agree because it was a cool premise. He was kind of wanted to test the new player experience in 2025, and if it's still as good or is the only true and best possible way is with promo link champions, right? Because he's like, what happens to the people that like don't hear about promo link. They just see this an ad, or they just download this game and start playing an account. And before you know it, they've spent some money, so they don't want to re-roll an account, or they just kind of became attached, so they just can't be bothered, right? For whatever reason, everybody's different, right? But they refuse to re-roll, and they've committed for whatever reason to go without the promo link champions or the new player champions. So what it's like for them, and how easy it is to get a footing in this game, how easy is it to get some progression and build a roster that's worth building. Um, I had a really weird, I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was. I thought at this point I'd be messing with, farmable champions, the best, right? Our spirit host, our Eris, stuff like that to get through Clan Boss, um, War Maiden, um, because I didn't expect to get any good RNG or even a legendary anytime in the beginning part of the game. Right off the bat, I took a different approach. I said I'm going to open up every shard as I get them in the early game, because the champions are going to be better served to me while out of their shard, instead of waiting for a 2x for certain things, right? So we ended up getting some great RNG. We got some really good champions on that account, and we are actually banging on all cylinders. So shattered my preconceived notion that it would be a slog. But then on the other side, then Wally's start has been more aligned to what I expected. So still think it's maybe too small of a sample size. Wally has way more experience. He's definitely going through a slow roll method when it comes to his roster and he's building. I'm definitely doing more of a sprinting approach, where I'm trying to get as much done playing as if I would my main account. And so we've got a lot of progress over there. We already got six or 560s, and then Daz Dirk, who is, I'm going to keep that level at 5-star for a little while, because he can do a good amount of work. Clan boss at level 50. But yeah, so we're doing really, really good over there. I feel like we're not too far away from sniffing a key of brutal. So that's kind of where we're at on that account, and we'll jump onto that one here maybe a little bit later. I'm thinking we might wrap up. I might go make some lunch here because I haven't eaten anything yet. Maybe after that. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch. I got a chicken and some stuff to prepare. So it's going to take me a little bit to make food. And so I'm going to watch a couple of these speed tuning videos at the exact same time we're having running on the tablet in the kitchen. See if I can figure out what to do with this Vergus and what to do with this Sabathon. I feel like it might only be Vergus too. If my intuition and if my troubleshooting is correct, I feel that's where we need to go. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then after that, we'll come back. Hopefully, I've gotten as much or a better idea of how to speed tune them, and then we'll actually go through that process in my stream for later on this afternoon. I've been trying to only stream when there's kind of worse stuff to do. The last couple weeks, I've been doing some stuff. Work wise and some personal stuff I've been having to deal with. So I've been able to stream as much the challenge account as much as I could. But there's also hasn't been. It's been a lot of maintenance, kind of like the same kind of repetitive stuff. So it hasn't been too much need to stream as well. So we got a lot of catching up to do today. So we're going to come back with a stream a little bit later on today and get ourselves this clan boss team fixed, and then we'll get a proper update of the challenge account to see, so you guys can see where we're at. We'll be done our grind of Minotaur that I got on the laptop. Auto battling. I think we got probably like 400, or probably like 500 energy to still to blow through there. Hopefully, we can get at least maybe we can get another champion, a second champion, fully mastered out would be amazing progress for today. Hopefully, pushing us into brutal. So stay tuned. I will be back in a couple hours once I've gotten more info to work on. I'll see you guys later.